Full on, it's 4.
Hello, I'm Lisa from Dundee. On Light Lunch today we'll be eating a very clever lunch with Clever Clogs, Melvin Bragg and Mark Lawson. Cue titles.
Lads, hello, I'm Mel and welcome to Light Lunch. Now you may notice something about Light Lunch today. No, it hasn't had a haircut or bought new shoes. Thanks for laughing. Good. Need a lot of support today, lads. In the generous spirit of the January sales, we've slashed 50% off today's show. Don't panic, we haven't sliced our arty guests Melvin Bragg and Mark Lawson in two and preserved them in formaldehyde in tribute to Damien Hirst. Nor are we serving them up half rations at lunch. Oh no. In the style of the fearless aviator Amelia Earhart, I am today attempting... I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm attempting the first ever solo crossing of the Light Lunch Hour by a woman. Lads, very bad news. I'm afraid Susie the Floozy is off with the floozy. Perky, my love. Perky, I miss you. I'm going to kill you. Get better soon, though, doll. Seriously, she's laid up with flu. Poor old thing. Sorry. Now, there's less of the light about the show today, as it will be radically transformed into a feast of culture and sophistication. In fact, I'm a little bit scared because today I'm having lunch with two of the brainiest men in the country. Yep, today we're meeting the biggest brain on the box since the brain of Morbius in Doctor Who. The marvellously intelligent Melvin Bragg. Melvin! No, I'm fine on my own. Really, I'm absolutely fine. Slight twitch developing in the right eye there. Crashing on. Now, Melvin is the thinking woman's crumpet. Oh, yes. I asked the thinking woman, and she told me that. He's a man who's not just a pretty face, he's got pretty hair as well. In fact, not just pretty hair, but gorgeous, long, lustrous, floppy hair. Since 1978, the mastermind of the South Bank show has given us over 500 quality interviews with such luminaries of the cultural world as Pavarotti, Francis Bacon and Michael Crawford. And in his spare time, he's written 17 novels, for Pete's sake. Bit of a round of applause for that. 17 novels. Where is she? There's a space. There's a Perkins-shaped space here where she should be. Joining Melvin is another clever chap who's so smart, he's got more up top than Linda Lusardi. He keeps it live on the Late Review, and he knows more about the arts than Damien Hirst knows about soaring sheep. It's Mark Lawson, lads. Calming down a bit now. Calming down. The brandy is taking effect. Everything is fine. So on today's show, I'm getting swatty with some brainy totty. Now, poor Suki Sue has a spot of the flu, as I told you. And as I know she's watching... Hello, Sue. She's watching at home, tucked up with a hot builder... Sorry. Hot water bottle. I wrote a little song for you, Sue. It's called Sue, Sue, You've Got the Flu. I'm going to sing it for you now, a la Rex Harrison. E.g., I'm going to say it, not sing it, because my voice is very, very poor. Play it, boys, with some feeling. That's beautiful. That's lovely. Sue, it's been 10 years I've known you. It was 1988, Yaz was #1, that was great. You were doing radical stand-up, it was late. You were wearing a batwing sweater and some buff-coloured pixie boots which were no better. At the microphone you told gags aplenty, and you wore pedal pushers that were magenta. I laughed then at all your jokes. You understood my obsession with John Noakes. Thus, our double act was formed, and we toured Croydon to Cumbernauld. This is for you, Sue. Oh yeah, oh yeah. We panned in Leighton Buzzard. We were drubbed in Royal Tunbridge Wells. We were chased out of the town of Burnley, and in Hemel Hempstead we shouted, "Taxi!" Sue, now you've got the flu, you're not here today, and golly dolly, I miss you. With your broccoli breath and your dyed black hair, and your surgical Spice Girl shoes. I feel like Richard Madeley, Sue, without his Judy Finnegan. Like Johnny without Denise. Like Little without Large. Like Rod Hull without Emu. Like Marx without Spencer. And like Kate O'Mara without Stephanie Beecham. But please, oh Sue, please, get well soon. And come back to me, Sue, I need you so. Oh, how I need you so. I feel like Commissioner Dreyfus in the Pink Panther films, my right eye's twitching. Help me, Sue, I can't cope. I feel so alone now. Sue, just get over your flu. Get over that flu. And come back to us, Sue, your light lunch family. Thank you. Too kind. Wrote that at 4 in the morning, literally. Arms rigid under the duvet like this, just panicking. Absolutely panicking. So, if you'd like to ask Melvin the significance of taking tea as a metaphor for sexual repression in the later works of Jane Austen, or Mark, what's the latest time he stayed up reviewing stuff? You can. Call us now on 09904 lunch if you have a snazzy alphabetised phone, or if you have a no-frills phone, here's Steve with the number, imparted to you with some in-depth knowledge of the arts. That's 0990...
45.
Van Gogh goes into a pub.
86.
His mate says, "Do you want a drink?"
24.
Van Gogh says, "No thanks, I've got one ear." Because he was Dutch. He was Dutch. OK. Or fax us on 09902 lunch if you have an alphabetised fax. Or if you just have a plain, ordinary one, it's OK. Here's the number with some pretentious arty twaddle. That's 0990.
25.
The sculptor tantalises us with his use of texture, colour and shape.
86.
Questioning the very notion of what is art.
24.
Basically, it's just a pile of bricks. Now, God, I've got shocking news about last week's band. Yes, audience, I do. Cucumber Wumba got into a bit of a fight with the previous house band, Yoghurt Culture Club. But they're all righter now. We've got a brand new band who are far too sexy for daytime television. They're Steve, Matt, Dylan and Dan. They're Tripe Said Fred! Hello there, and welcome to some more of me. Cooking for us today is a private chef who cooks for someone famous, but she's not allowed to tell us who it is. Can you believe it? Could be the Queen, could be Tom Cruise, could be Pete Purvis. I don't know. We hope for her sake it's not Michael Winner. We'll never know. Whoever it is, they're very lucky because she is a fantastic chef. Please welcome Jane Namazi. Doll. Welcome back. You've been on before.
Yes, I certainly have.
You're not sort of flu-ridden, are you?
Hope not, God.
Oh, Dolly.
No.
Welcome back. What are you cooking for us today?
OK, today we're going to do a fillet of lamb with a saffron marinade.
Lovely.
With basmati rice and a little rocket and green bean salad.
Superb. Today we're having fillet of lamb with saffron, otherwise known as A moving and sensuous portrayal of the juxtaposition between the lean yet reassuring and robust meat and the tantalising, delicate yet strangely effusive spice. The end product is a triumph, leaving one's taste buds literally begging for more. What ingredients?
OK, my darling.
That we're using.
All right, we've got our lamb here, and these are the marinated ingredients we've got here.
Right.
Which is an onion finely sliced.
OK.
Some ginger, some garlic,
Lovely.
and the rather extravagant bit, some saffron.
Saffron in a box? More expensive than gold!
I know! Wonderful
Literally.
stuff, though. Really subtle but distinctive flavour. It's delicious.
Groovy.
So what I'm going to do now, we're going to make a sauce from the basis of this, OK?
Right.
I'm going to get this, if I can work this ring this time, let's just see.
Work the ring, love.
Work the ring, darling. Work the
There
ring.
you go.
We're going to scrape out. I can't bear to waste this beautiful marinade, so I'm just going to take the lamb out and keep it aside.
How long's that been,
That's been
marinating?
marinating, I think, probably most of the weekend. But, I mean, overnight
Like
it's...
Sue.
Yes.
She's marinating at the moment under her duvet.
Yeah.
Poor little thing. Hello,
That's-
Perks.
That's just going there. I'm going to scrape all these lovely gunky bits into the frying pan.
So using the marinade as well?
Yes,
Vegan?
indeedy. Yeah.
Value for money there, Jane.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Lovely.
So that's just going to sweat very gently and very slowly.
Like Sue under her duvet, sweating very gently.
Let's dedicate this to Sue, won't we?
Poor thing. Her eyes looked sort of boiled. She was so... No, honestly, she was so hot. Poor love. Anyway, cracking on.
OK,
Right.
here we've got a few green beans, which we cooked about 5 minutes ago. They're still nice and warm.
Right.
I'm going to make a very simple dressing,
OK.
all right?
Sue needs a dressing as well, probably. Probably got open wounds as well.
Not this kind of...
Yeah.
OK, just a dash of olive oil in here.
Right.
Some balsamic vinegar. Now, chefs use this all the time. If you haven't used it before, look out for it in the supermarket.
Yeah,
It's
that's a little
great.
diddy bottle there,
It's
isn't
a
it?
diddy bottle. Just a slosh of that in. The thing is, if you can remember with salad dressings to try and use a bit more oil than vinegar, it kind of makes the balance better.
Right.
And also a good
Cool.
portion of salt, OK?
You like your rock salt, don't you?
I like my rock salt,
Yeah,
darling. I
man.
love it. That's just
Yeah,
going
man.
in the pan. Saves the washing up as well, this. It's great.
OK.
Pinch of pepper.
Lovely.
Pinch a dash of lemon juice, because I love lemons.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Hope you're watching, Sue. We're
tell
doing
you
this
what-
for you, OK?
I tell you what, Sue, have you ever tried sucking a lemon
I'm
with
Mel.
salt? Oh,
I'm
no, I'm
Mel.
telling you, I'm talking to Sue.
Yeah,
Sue.
Sue's down there.
Yeah, I know.
I'm here. Good. OK.
Have you ever tried sucking a piece of lemon
No.
with salt on it? It's just highly addictive.
Only after tequila.
I know. Yeah,
Not on its own.
It rots your teeth as well, but I mean, it's delicious. I promise you. It's wonderful stuff.
Have you got a top tip for us, Jane?
A top tip, my darling, is if you're going to use cooked salad ingredients, always dress them while they're still warm. They absorb
Right.
the flavour of the dressing much more.
Oh, right, that's good to know. So the beans are quite sort
They're
of...
going to sit there and
quite sort of
deep in that dressing, or they're going to sweat in the dressing.
OK, Jane, I'm going to leave you now
All
just
right, my
for a
darling.
little minute or two. I want to
Yeah.
hear about your weekend. I know you've got some exciting news.
Yes, certainly have.
Meanwhile, Sue with flu. You're quite cultured. Weren't you at the Tate seeing a Monet exhibition last weekend?
No, I was in a state after Too Much Too Bonnet and made an exhibition of myself last weekend.
She's here! She's made it in! Perks! Oh, it was just a mask after all. Are you there, Perks? You still there, Dolly?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, mate, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling absolutely rotten.
Oh, Dolly, what are your symptoms, mate? What are your symptoms?
I was feeling okay until I saw... What's this? It's Sesame Street. I saw Sesame Street. It's traffic. Children should not be allowed to watch it. It's madness.
What was on it?
Some things, shapes, and a big
Oh,
bird.
Dolly.
Did my head in.
She's very feverish.
I have to say, I am slightly serious. I did try and come in today because I thought it was unfair that Mel should do it.
She came in like an old trooper and we sent her home. Did you see her? What's your name, by the way?
Alex.
Alex.
Hi.
Say hello to Alex, Perks.
Hello,
Hi,
Sue.
Alex.
How are you? Be well, my love.
Thank you, bless you.
Be very well. Perks, your voice has got a lot higher, Dolly.
Yes, I'm sort of falsetto, Sue.
Dolly, get back on the... Oh, she's coughing, lads. Oh,
Live hack.
lads, I can't bear it. Perksy, get back under your duvet. But for the sake of all of us, keep your hands above the duvet. We'll feel safer that way. OK? We'll speak to you later, Perks.
You are going to get a slapping. You know it. Just because I'm incapacitated, I'm going to save it up, and you're going to get what's coming tomorrow.
Bye, Perksy.
Bye, mate. Bye.
Right, we'll speak to you later on, yeah?
Okay.
OK, groovy. Hello there, sir. I like your stripe.
Cheers.
Yes, it's groovy.
I bought you Cadbury's cream egg.
Oh,
just
thank
for
you. Oh,
being
thank
on your
you.
own.
Thank you.
There
Oh,
you go.
thanks very much. I'll sit on it and, you know,
Maybe it'll
shit.
grow.
Maybe it'll grow. What have you brought for
Well,
your
because
lunch?
it's such a cultured day, I've actually brought you some art.
Oh,
as
lovely.
opposed to something to eat.
Lovely.
And it's in the style of... It's sort of Gilbert and George-esque.
It's brilliant. We've got sort of cabbages in our
It's
mouths.
actually cool, yes. It's sort of a whole theme. It's a menu. It's a recipe. It's cabbages and sherry. Cabbages, sherry.
This is excellent. How much do you reckon it's worth?
What, now?
Yes. A couple of quid? 2 quid?
150.
And the frame was 150. And the art's priceless.
Priceless,
mate.
yeah,
No, I
yeah.
think we should hang it up in the lounge actually later on. Thank you very, very much
That's
for coming in.
okay, no problem.
Groovy. Hello. Hi, how you doing?
Fine.
Good. You're not flu-ridden, are you?
My son is.
Your son? Oh no, is
My
he
wife
in
was supposed
bed?
to be with me today, but she's stay at home and look after him.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hi, dear, I love you.
Oh, all the flu-ridden people out there. Hope you're getting better. What have you brought?
Stevenage Borough gingerbread man and a Newcastle one. Just
Now-
to balance it out.
Maybe we should discuss this since Sue isn't here today.
More's the
Stevenage versus Newcastle at the weekend. Stevenage, bottom of the Vauxhall Conference League. Obviously.
15th.
15th. Newcastle, what, sort of midway in the Premier? 1-1.
Great result, wasn't it?
Really, really great result. Newcastle, good team, Sue. Very good team. Very good team. These look lovely. Thank you very much. Would you like to keep them?
Yeah, of course. Give one to Sue.
Cool.
Give her the Newcastle one.
Okay, lovely. Are you from Stevenage?
I am.
Oh, bless your heart. Lads, you've all been beautiful. Let's say all together, get well better Sue after 3. 1, 2, 3. Get well better Sue. Meanwhile, some more of me. I'm so sorry. It's just solid me.
No, it's
I'm so
wonderful.
sorry.
It's wonderful having you.
Hey, how you doing, Jane?
All right, my darling, I'm just going to put a little bit of salt, the old rock salt again,
Right.
onto our lamp.
Your fave thing.
My fave thing.
Okay.
This has been sitting here now for about 20 minutes, so it's back up to room temperature.
Right.
It's going onto our very hot grill.
V-hot, lovely.
V-hot grill. For
Okay.
about 7 or 8 minutes.
Right.
Remind me to turn it, please, someone, OK?
Remind me to turn it.
Remind me to turn the lamp,
Audience.
OK?
Cheers. So how was your weekend then?
Thank you for asking me that. It was fantastic, man.
What happened at the weekend?
My sister had a baby. I mean, no one else is remotely interested apart from my family. But Julia's had a baby, and it's wonderful. And he's called Jack Summers, and I love him.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you,
Is Summers
darling.
his surname or
Yes.
his second?
No, that's his is it?
Jack
Yeah,
Summers.
sexy name, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
bless.
OK,
lovely.
right,
Cool.
back to the food. Some melted butter here, just sizzling.
Right,
And this is some rice, which we kind of half-cooked.
with some...
So there's some cinnamon in it, some cardamom and
twigs.
some cloves, yeah, some branches, yeah.
Right.
That's just going to go straight in there.
Okie dokes.
So there's still little drops of water kind of like just clinging to the rice.
Yeah.
That's going to steam up.
OK.
I'm
Is
gonna-
this Middle Eastern, James,
It's
dish?
very kind of like Persian, actually, yeah.
Because your namazi is
That's
Persian.
right, it's Persian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in Iran, you have like these great rice cookers. They sort of smear them with yogurt and butter,
Wow.
cook the rice and turn out these wonderful cakes of rice. They're just...
Be
So-
good. And
so-
they like their lamb, don't they?
They love
Yeah,
it. Like-
man.
So what's going to form is a crust at the bottom here.
Right.
A lovely crunchy kind
Embrace the
of
crust. We like
and
the
it's
crust.
the best bit. It is the best bit
Crust
of
is
the
a
rice.
good
Yeah,
thing.
It is, without a doubt.
Okay.
So that's
Supreme?
going to be on there. Just, yeah, can you just sit? That's
Bit
brilliant.
of padded tissue going on the
Yeah.
pan there. Lovely.
Just to absorb the steam.
What's this? Oh, to absorb.
Yeah, just so the steam gets sort of
Okay.
sucked up into it.
Okay.
All right, darling.
Everything's going well?
Yeah, and that's just going. That's going to be for our sauce. And I'm going to just very quickly throw those chopped
The
tomatoes in there.
And
I
you've
can get
peeled them up as well.
Oh, yes. OK.
And how long is that going to grill for in there?
That's going to be about 7 or 8 minutes. It'll be lovely and brown and succulent on the outside. It's gonna
Right. Do you like cooking for your friends, Jane?
Well,
Another
I've been-
loaded question.
It certainly is. Well, I've been known to try out things on my friends and family.
Do tell.
Do tell, yeah. Well, I don't know if anybody here's made artichoke soup. It's wonderful. So I thought, I know, I'll try roasting some artichokes.
Right.
They were just great. They were delicious. They were sweet. They were crispy. Oh, wonderful.
But
4 or 5 hours later, I think flatulence took it.
yeah.
I am not joking. Our house could have taken off. It was... So not the most successful meal I've ever made, I feel.
Gives new meaning to the word artichoke. Literally. Okie dokes. Good. I think this is all going very, very well. Now, after the break, we'll be cracking world philosophy over lunch with the intelligentsia from the South Bank Show and the Late Review, Melvyn Bragg and Mark Lawson. So don't be a dunce. See you in 3.
The Sainsbury's reward card has more fun things for you to enjoy than any of the others. Want to be in the movies? Just 2 Sainsbury's reward vouchers get 2 people into a film. It's easy to convert Sainsbury's reward vouchers into air miles for treats you and your family will really enjoy. 3 vouchers get you 1 free adult admission to a theme park. And it's easier to earn vouchers because Sainsbury's gives you more extra reward points than any other supermarket.
This is the ultimate club mix, the biggest anthems of all time, with Bucketheads and All Saints. Classic club tunes and pumping new tracks with Sneaker Pimps, A Wild Child. Ultimate club mix with Dario and Faithless. Ultra Nate and Byron Stingley. The biggest tracks on the Ultimate album, Ultimate Club Mix, out now.
Gentlemen, we have another phenomenon. It exists. The Citroen Saxo VTR. Oh, it's the legend, all right. It comes with sunroof, electric windows, remote central locking, and driver's airbag. But this is where it gets weird. Really weird. It comes with 2 years free insurance.
The Citroen Winter Phenomenon. Now there's something you don't see every year.
Now this gentleman is abominable.
There's a whole new look to the new Case catalogue. More ideas, more fashion, more flair. It's more about you, your family, and your home. We'll even give you interest-free credit and 20% off your first order. For your free copy of the new Case catalogue, call 0800 068 1234. It's all you want, and more.
Every time you call Ireland without using Swift Call, this is what you may be doing.
Call USA for only 14p a minute.
Australia for just 25p. Canada.
Germany.
France.
And Ireland for 14p.
And India for just 60p, all-inclusive.
Call 0800 769 0800.
£25 buys you 3 hours talk time to the USA anytime.
Call 0800 769 0800.
We're standing by, waiting to take your call.
0800 769 0800, Swift Call.
Now you're talking.
He's wearing modern fabrics. Everybody's wearing modern fabrics. Everybody. They can be difficult to clean, attracting grease.
You'll never get that off.
And repelling water. Persil's got the answer. A special stain release system which lets water penetrate even modern fibres to float dirt and grease clean away.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Persil, the modern liquid, at $3.29.
Good boy. Now, welcome back to something of a solo light lunch. Me old mucker, Perky Perkins, is off with the flu, but the show must go on, loves. So I'm warming up for an exhilarating chinwag on my own with the world's heavyweight conversation champions, Melvyn Bragg and Mark Lawson. Quite scared. And later, challenging their lowbrow skills in a table football match and finding out if they're as brawny as they are brainy. But first, I've been taking a stroll on my own through the park of life, and these are some of the topical doodles I trod in. Posh Spice and David Beckham have agreed to tie the knot at last. The wedding, set for next year, will be traditional, apart from 1 or 2 changes. When asked if she'll take this man to be her lawful wedded husband, Posh will reply, I do, I really, really do. In the event of David jilting her and not turning up at the church, she can choose from 3 substitutes. However, Posh will go with the traditional something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Something old will be Jerry. Something new will be the 16th century Tudor mansion in Essex, where the reception is to be held. Something borrowed will be the genuinely posh family hired for the occasion from Rent-A-Top. And something blue will be some of Jerry's earlier work on Turkish television. Cheers, lads, for your support in these trying times. A Japanese man has been charged with trying to smuggle a penguin out of New Zealand. In his defence, the man said he was very, very sorry, but in Japan, there really is a real shortage of chocolate-covered biscuit bars. That wasn't my gag. I didn't write that. Maybe we should point out who did write that gag. Ivor Badil in the audience.
It got a laugh.
Vol.
It got a laugh. It says in the script here, audience laugh. You're doing very well.
Cheers, mate. Now, Prince Andrew. No, Prince Andrew has... Steady my nerves. Steady myself. Prince Andrew has found a new girlfriend. Her name is Aurelia, and she's got long red hair, slightly buck teeth, and is divorced. And I thought it was any sheep they could clone. Good, Jim. I think I'm going to saunter casually. I was literally about to say so, Sue, and she's not there. Little Perkins space just here. Let's imagine her now. Let's imagine her just sitting there with her built-up shoes, sparkly trousers and V-neck sweater and little black hair there. She's sitting there. Good. I've gone mad. I think I'll just saunter over to the kitchen. Hello, Jane.
Hello, my darling.
How you doing?
I'm getting this lamb out of the oven.
Is this grilled?
This is grilled, my darling.
Cooler.
Cooler.
Smells really good, actually.
Damn hot as well.
Looks
okay.
good.
Let's get that onto the board.
Right.
What we would normally do is kind of like try and rest this for a couple of minutes.
Right.
But we haven't got time today.
OK, so straight into the old carvery.
Straight onto the old carvery.
Okie
I'm
dokes.
just going to slice this down on the diagonal.
How come?
Just because it looks prettier, that's all.
Right. Okay. You do that with corduroy, don't you? You cut it. It's called against the nap.
It's still nice and pink in the middle.
It's a bit like corduroy. What are you doing here with the lamb? Help me, Jane. Help me. Help me, support me.
Sorry.
Good, looking good.
OK, so I'm so busy concentrating on my lap.
Sorry. No, you're right to do that, seriously.
OK, darling, right, now, let's get the next thing going. Let's turn that off, right?
Right.
Let's get our salad dress, shall we?
Yes.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
Good call.
OK, right, so our rocket's going to go in here.
OK. Rocket beans and with the balsamic.
And a bit of the old sea salt again.
Beautiful.
Love that sea salt.
You love that rock sea salt,
I do,
Jane.
darling, I tell you.
Can't get enough of it.
Just can't. I am. I'm all obsessed.
There you go.
Sad life. OK, that's just going to be tossed through that. So there's nice crunchy beans.
Right.
It's just going to be slightly wilted rocket at this stage.
That's
okay.
fine.
All
This
right.
is Sue's favourite salad.
Oh.
That salad there is Sue's favourite. If she was here, she'd really enjoy that. She's not here.
Oh. Darling, don't break down on me now, please, Mel.
No, I promise you. Promise you. What's your rice doing? Can I lift
Okay,
up
my
this?
rice, yeah, you can take that off from me if you like.
Too hot.
Sorry, OK, don't worry.
You've got harder hands than I have.
Can you get that aroma now? It really gets that sort of the spices, yeah?
Very good.
Can you smell that?
Waft it over. Waft it over. Good facial sauna, good for the spots as well while you're over there. That's good.
So now, hopefully, we've got a nice sort of crunchy, crusty bit on the bottom.
Yep.
We may not have done, who knows? Let's see. Yeah, it's getting there.
Lovely.
Okay.
Jane, while you're dishing that out,
Yes, my darling.
I'm going to dish up your details.
All right.
So if you'd like a
All
copy
right.
of Jane's recipe, please send an essay to us at Free Post Lunch. But please state which recipe you'd like, or tune into Foretell on page 330, or you can find us on the World Wide Web at the Channel 4 site on the internet. The real question, though, is not so much what is the recipe, but what is recipe? Is it, as some would say, a mere coming together of ingredients, or is it a metaphor for the great melting pot that is the cosmos? Or indeed is the very notion of recipe itself redundant in this modern age of fast foods and ever-changing dietary habits? I, for one, haven't got a clue what I'm on about. Good.
OK, nearly there, OK?
Jane, cheers for this, mate.
All right,
Seriously.
my darling.
Looks lovely.
Hope so. Hope
You will
enjoy.
come back, won't you?
If you'll have me.
You haven't been scared off by my meandering
Oh, God,
ramble.
no.
That looks beautiful.
You've just been a star. There's
Cool.
a lamb on there, a salad. Shall I put it over there or something?
That's
Or-
fine, just
Yeah,
leave it right there, darling.
Fine.
Thanks so much, Jane.
You're very welcome,
Cheers
sweetheart.
for coming.
Enjoy.
Thank you. So,
Okay.
band, are you hungry?
Yes!
Audience, are you hungry? Yes! Sue with flu on the phone, are you hungry?
No offence, Jane, but the thought of eating now makes me feel physically sick.
Perksy, drink your chicken broth, love. Did it arrive? We said it's
No,
a
it
chicken
didn't,
broth.
but I've got a hot generic blackcurrant drink, which is very, very good.
She's so professional. No product placement,
No,
even
never.
when she's ill. Beautiful. Perks, we'll speak to you later, my love.
All right, take care. You're doing brilliantly, Meg.
Oh, doll. I'll get you later. Anyway, let's eat lunch. And now for some more me. It's time now to welcome for lunch a cultural hero who is as big in the arts as Jockey Wilson is in darts. He's chewed the cud with many a big cheese from the giant delicatessen that is the cultural world on the South Bank Show. Please give it up large for Melvyn Bragg. And joining Melvyn, another very clever chap, a writer and broadcaster who's read more books, seen more plays and watched more films than a million majorettes could shake a stick at. Let the scintillating conversation begin. Please welcome Mark Lawson. Gentlemen, gents, welcome to Light Lunch.
Thank you.
Let's respect the space that is there. In that space should sit Susan Perkins. Sadly, she can't be with us today. But it's very nice to see you. Thanks for coming on.
And you.
Cool. Now, you're old. By the way, do tuck in. Do tuck.
Well, we're here, if we're going to talk at any time about religious programmes, Mark and I thought that one of us should say grace.
Yes.
Have you ever had that?
Would you like to do that?
Armando Iannucci said a very brief grace, but you're welcome to say another grace.
Well, we thought you would.
I've said it in my head. It's done. Okay, lovely. Right. Do seriously though, tuck in Melvyn and Mark. Now
It's quite difficult to eat in front of all these cameras and all that, and with nobody else eating. Are you all eating?
They're all eating, Melvyn.
Oh,
seriously,
that's right.
they're all
Fine.
literally
Right.
tucking in.
Well,
so don't worry.
I think it was
Okay.
Gene Hackman or someone once said in an interview that he never took a role where he had to eat on screen because it was impossible to look
Yeah.
dynamic while eating.
We don't mind if you eat with your mouth full. It's absolutely fine. Many have done it. Griffiths Jones almost choked.
Oh,
So,
good.
uh,
Oh, well, that's great.
just to make you feel better about it. But you're old friends, the two of you.
Yeah.
How did you first meet?
Melvyn took me out to lunch. I was a boy journalist, and I'd written about arts programmes, and he took me out to lunch to put me right on a few things, and that's where we first met.
Right. So has he sort of been a bit of a guide and a mentor?
Yeah, no, he has. No, he was very helpful to me, and he gave me various tips. And the first proper radio I did, in fact, was standing in for Melvyn when on Start the Week.
Oh, right.
And I wasn't allowed to say he was on holiday because there'd been a nasty incident. Nick Ross's house had been burgled, I think, while he was presenting
No.
Crime Watch,
Why
apparently,
was-
yeah. And Melvyn was terrified of this, so I had to say that he was working at home, and that was the first thing I ever said on a proper radio programme. Melvyn Bragg can't be here today because he's working at home. And it was to stop the burglars getting in.
Do you know David Jacobs, when he did Any Questions, which they take this portable village all around the United Kingdom to do Any Questions, and David got burgled more than 40 times. Always when he was on air, they would say, and now here's David Jacobs, we're in Inverness for Any Questions, here's David Jacobs, and people say, oh, Inverness, that's 600 miles away, I think I'll nip round to David's again tonight. And he was.
This is live, of course, so your flat may even now be...
My flab?
Flat?
Oh, sorry. So sorry, Mark. Suddenly thought we were talking about something completely
No, your
different.
apartment, so it must be a
My
risk.
little... Yeah, my apartment got redecorated by changing rooms last week, so it's quite exciting.
Very good.
Yeah. That didn't mean anything, but anyway, let's scratch on. Melvyn, what tips did you give Mark then? Can you remember actually sort of what you said to him when he started out?
Well, I can't remember, but he's obviously he's done far too well. I mean,
done
that's
brilliantly.
really a terrible thing. He's done very, very well indeed. So either I said something right or he sussed out the opposition pretty quick and got ahead of it.
Yeah. You don't feel there's no sort of competition there, though, is there? Or
No.
do you feel there is between...
Well, no, I know. If I get offered a programme, I know that Melvyn has turned it down, but, I mean, that's the only... and occasionally, like, little books about Cumbria fall out of scripts that you get sent, and you know that they've been to him first. But
Yeah.
that's... you accept that.
Have you ever had to actually review each other's work?
Well, I reviewed several hundred editions of the South Bank Show while I was a television critic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And was it quite hard to sort of be, you know, overcritical about them? Did you
Well,
feel
no, because it was before I met him. I mean, that's why he took me out to lunch with some of the things I'd written.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. And Melvin, you've never had to do the same?
No.
No, but if I had to review, I'm afraid I'd say it's very good indeed. And that late review show is excellent. I love the stuff he writes in The Guardian. The boy's done well.
Yeah. We watched the South Bank Awards last night. What was the highlight for you, Melvin?
Oh, Thora Hird. And, yes, because of what happened at the awards, not what happened on screen. And that's one of the annoying things, that Thora Hird, who's very, very... Well, it's a very old lady who was a great, beautiful film star in the 30s and 40s. It's, you know, there you are, we all get old. She was staggering, and then she's a great comedian.
Yeah.
And wonderful memory. I actually wrote to the National Sound Archive saying, sit Thora Hird down and ask her to tell you about Morecambe for 2 days and 2 nights on end, because she's got the whole of the British seaside in the 30s and 40s and 50s in her head. Well, she told a wonderful gag about God creating Adam and Eve, and it was a terrific gag, but it just took too long for us to put on air. So the highlight for me... No, it took 6, but I mean...
What was the worst thing that happened?
Worst thing that happened...
Because it was live, wasn't it?
It was live. Well, live's a nightmare, as you know. I can see you...
Certainly
you
is.
seem to enjoy it, actually.
It's a good buzz. Yeah, it's a good laugh when Sue's
I mean, live's
around.
live's like moving fast in sport or something. I distantly remember these occasions when you'd be playing something and you get thumped, and you wouldn't notice at the time, but a sort of an hour or two later the bruise would come up. When you're doing live television, you think, oh, it's all going well, and then you see it later recording, you think, oh, it isn't really like that. But it was all right, it went quite well. Yeah, it went quite well. It was one great occasion when we had the Minister of Culture sitting there, the new chairman of the Arts Council sitting there. We'd given the Outstanding Achievement Award to Sir Peter Hall, and he slagged them both off. And there they were, in their spotlights while he was having a go at them. So that had its certain edge to it.
Yeah, in fact, Peter Hall, there's a link there, because, Mark, we saw you on the People's Art last night. Now, Germaine Greer looked quite angry. She looked like she was actually about to deck Sir Peter Hall.
Well, the secret was, under the table, Germaine Greer had a broken leg. She slipped on New Year's Eve and broke her leg. And so when I was warming up the studio audience, I said it got very nasty out there, and you'll notice when the panellists come on that one of them is now in plaster. And on cue, Germaine was wheeled in with her broken leg. But she got quite heated, but people do in these things.
But do the arguments sort of carry on after the show? Does it ever get to a stage where you're kind of quite worried that it's going to spill out?
There was an occasion when I thought someone was going to hit someone else in the green room after Labour Review, because I can't say who, but we finished at midnight, and the record is 6:45 in the morning. We were younger then, but we stayed in the green room. I don't know how long you stay after this, but we stayed that long. And it did get nasty, because people often take things very personally. I mean, people know that even if you go and see a film and the person you love or are supposed to love doesn't like that film,
absolutely,
it gets really nasty. And Labour Review is just like that on a kind of nuclear scale, really.
Sure. We had a bit of a nuclear winter here when, well, Stephanie Beacham and Kate O'Mara were on. You know, that was...
Yeah.
That could have been...
It happens.
Interesting. But Melvin, who's been your fave person that you've sort of featured on South Bank show?
Well, there are an awful lot, but I was very absorbed by Laurence Olivier.
Yeah.
Because he was probably as great an actor as this country, or maybe any country, has produced, and he was a great director and an organisation man as well. He organised theatres and, in a sense, got the National Theatre going. But he was... People say about actors that you can never tell who they are. Mostly you can. Mostly they're just like everybody else. They lead a straight life. But Olivier, well, a straight or whatever it is life, but they lead a life, and they're not all that complicated. Olivier was so different from day to day.
Yeah.
You just didn't know where the acting began and the life ended, and vice versa. And he was so good at being different. I mean, when he had that affair with Sarah Miles, for instance, for 20 years, which she's written about, and they used to meet in little hotels around Paddington and that sort of thing, and he used to pretend to be her father. But she said it was
quite
difficult.
handy being an actor, probably.
Yeah, well, very handy, yeah. Clinton should have taken tips
well,
for
exactly.
that. There you go. And he said that when he turned up, he would get so carried away about being her father, they would almost forget to go up to bed. He would sort of talk about, oh, do you know my daughter? She's a terribly nice gal. And then
he methoded the role.
Yeah,
so you read her a bedtime story instead.
That sort of thing. Tuck her up. Yeah. But he was. Yes, he was. That was very close. No,
Keep it highbrow.
That was highbrow.
Keep it highbrow.
It was Lawson who came in on the little thing there.
Yes, Lawson.
Yeah, Lawson made it, just gave it a little turn.
Yes, in fact, Lawson, are you a bit of a lowbrower in your own privacy of your own thing?
In my own room. Yeah, I like all.
Brookie.
Read a lot of thrillers. You want me to say that I've watched almost every episode of Brookie, and I had Brookside.
Yeah. Have you literally since it kind of started?
The first 10 years I never missed one. I used to. You could get longer and longer video cassettes, and when I went away for 2-3 weeks, I used to record all the omnibus editions on a Saturday. So yeah, I kept up, and I've missed a few recently.
Why do you think it's so brilliant?
I don't know, it was the writing, really, and subsequently people like Jimmy McGovern were writing it. It's just, Melvin, I think, is a big fan of Coronation Street.
Oh, are you Melvin?
Yeah. My theory is you can't like both. I think it's
either Brookie.
It's like Liverpool, Manchester United, and indeed is those two cities,
Newcastle, Stevenage,
yeah,
whatever
absolutely.
it is. Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
I'm just slightly annoyed that Manchester United are doing quite well these days.
They are, and it's true Liverpool aren't. But and in terms of figures, of course...
No, Liverpool are doing better than us.
In terms of figures, it would be true. We have to show that although we're arty presenters, we can talk about football.
With the kids.
Yeah, we can talk about football.
Yeah.
It was that, really. It was much younger and lively, and I liked all that about it.
Oh.
And I was in love with Heather Havisham.
Who's Heather Havisham?
Well, she was the first...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Patricia is kind of her... No, then Petra, then Patricia is kind of her replacement. She was a smart young lawyer, and in one of the famous scenes, she discovered her husband Roger's adultery. She heard him on the phone.
But it's curious that Mark has to say that we have to prove anything, because everybody I know is interested in an enormous number of things.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I remember years and years ago, and the man is dead now, but in the early 60s, the first big film I did was on a conductor called Sir John Barbarolli, who'd been a friend of Elgar's and conducted music of Elgar's, and been just about as good as you can get as a classical music conductor. A magnificent man, an orchestra in Manchester and so on. And the Beatles had just come out, and when I first went round to see him, and the Beatles had just started, it was the very early Beatles, he was a very tiny man, and he had one of these high wind-up gramophones, and he had his head buried in it, listening to the Beatles songs and saying, these boys are marvellous, they're really terrific. And that goes on all the time.
The worst fear for a critic is you read about critics who said the Beatles will never make it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make
nothing.
I'm going to make a confession. I was totally wrong about the Teletubbies. I saw I reviewed them.
Did you review them?
I did. I reviewed them when they started. We did them on Late Review, and we all sat around and said, this is never going to catch on. They can't talk properly. And
Cut two.
And but I blame. I tried it out on my children, and they didn't at that stage like it. And then about 4 months later, they said this is the greatest thing ever, as did everyone else. So that is my shame. I can't be taken seriously because I was wrong about the Teletubbies.
I love the sound of your voice, Mark, but I am going to have to stop you there. It's more me. After the break, please tuck in, lads, by the way. You haven't really eaten very much. I'm worried. Keep your strength up. After the break, I'll be meeting one of the world's top models and giving Melvin and Mark a good thrashing. Don't you dare miss it. See you in 3. On Light Lunch tomorrow, we sprint into the fast lane with athletes Denise Lewis and Kelly Holmes.
We're having a super time on our Ledger European coach holiday. They collected us at our pickup point. Our driver is so friendly and helpful, and he took us to the famous sights. The coach is really comfortable and well equipped. We've made so many new friends. Why don't you come with us next time?
Ledger offer over 60 great value European holidays and city breaks, such as 7 days in Rome, Pompeii and Capri from only £159. Call now for a free brochure. 0870 122 2222.
After telling my friends how good Advil was, they were all asking me to bring it back. I discovered Advil on my first trip to the States. I had a thumping headache. One of the American crew gave me some Advil. It really did the trick.
Clinical tests for non-prescription medicine show nothing is proven to work better than Advil ibuprofen. Nothing.
I'm glad Advil's now available here. Getting it's not such a long haul.
Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Your skin can become dry like an arid landscape. So put the life back with Vaseline Intensive Care.
When your clothes feel good, you feel good. New Comfort Vitality has an invigorating freshness. It makes fabrics bouncy, leaving everything soft and revitalized. New Comfort Vitality brings you and your clothes to life.
Bleep. Bleep, bleep. Bleep. Bleep, bleep. Bleep. Bleep, bleep. Bleep, bleep. Bleep, bleep, bleep. Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Oh, if it's not birds, you're a custard sort of a pudding.
New 7 Seas Extra High Strength Cod Liver Oil helps keep joints supple and flexible. Take new Extra High Strength 1-a-day capsules from 7 Seas.
No loving parent would put their child in unnecessary danger. Childhood diseases can seriously harm your child. That's why it's important to immunize.
Arriba! Welcome back to what can only be described as an extremely classy light lunch today, where I'm hobnobbing with the doyens of the arts world, Melvyn Bragg and Mark Lawson. Sadly, I'm hobbing my knob solo today because my great mate Sue Perkins is poorly with the flu. Let's give her a quick wave, everyone. Hello, Sue. Hope you're feeling better. Hope she's had some chicken broth. Now, over lunch, we cogitated over some of the great themes that universally preoccupied great thinkers of the world. Both our guests made some extremely salient and good points. Melvyn said, ooh, Thora Heard, and Mark, who said I was totally wrong about the Teletubbies. Now, before the break, I promised you we'd give our guests a good thrashing. And I meant it. Mark and Melvyn may be untouchable when it comes to pitting their wits against the world. But Steve, I wear shades to look cool, McEwen, and myself are going to give them a run for their money at table football. Stevie McEwen, join me, my love. Round of applause. All right there, darling.
Yeah, good. Very good.
Steve, this is Mark.
Mark.
Steve. Melvyn, Steve. Jamie, Steve. Good. It'll be a battle of brains in blue versus brawn in red. Representing brains, Melvyn Bragg and Mark Lawson, and representing brawn, Steve, I wear shades to look cool, McEwen from the band, and myself, on my own, Melanie Getroich. Now, Steve, the stakes are high, my hands are sweaty, my muscles are flexed. We have 1 minute to hammer the brains, and there's a very exciting star prize. This is actually true. Very exciting star prize. Jamie, the researcher / referee, will oversee the proceedings. Let the game commence! Here we go. Come on, Steve, feel the magic. Feel the magic, man. Come on, Stevie. Feel the magic, Steve. Good boy. Come on, Stevie. Come on, Steve. Quite a slow game. Quite a slow game. Not. Oh, hello. Cover my goal. Cover my goal. Come on, Stevie. For Pete's sake, we've got to score. Quite silent. Yay! Stevie, well done. Feel the magic. Feel the magic.
say.
Okay, feel the magic.
Go, Mel, go, Mel.
Feel the magic. Come on, Melvin and Mark. Oh, lads, the result, as witnessed by our scrupulously unbiased referee Jamie, is Brawn.
Brawn 4.
Brains
nil.
Lads, Brains, I'm so sorry. Shake hands, make up. But you do win the Star Consolation Prize. Jamie, please. In that envelope there
Thank you.
are tickets for the England v Chile game at Wembley on February the 2nd in the Olympic Gallery, no less, lads.
Thank you very much.
With our love.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We did thrash you. You were a bit rubbish, but but at least you got the tickets. Now, thank you for the game. Now, as we all know, Stevie, you better go back and play the guitar. Go play the guitar, dear. Off you go. Good, Stevie. As we all know, no big game is complete without a post-match interview. So here's Melvin speaking to the Archbishop of Canterbury.
You have been under fire from the English press, British press. How do those two things affect you? Do they get to you?
Yes, I've learnt over the years not to worry too much about what slagging off I get. I can cope with that emotionally and spiritually. But I do get very cross when my church, and I passionately believe in what it's doing. It's not perfect, it makes many mistakes, but I'm delighted to be an Anglican, Church of England. I would die one.
Lads. Go on the hop there. Go on the hop. Now, Melvin, that was a clip from your new series, Faith.
Yes.
Faith in Our Time. When's it going to be?
It starts this Sunday, 12 o'clock on ITV. It runs for 6 weeks with the six the leaders of the six biggest faiths in this country, the Anglican,
brilliant.
Catholic, Jewish, Muslim, Sikh and the evangelical.
Oh, wicked. We'll look out for that. And you've also been doing some religious stuff, obviously, with the big question. Saw you last night with John Travolta, yesterday morning, sorry, 9:30 a.m. Get that right. Good evening. With John Travolta, what was he like?
Frightening, biggest star I've ever interviewed, and it was amazing in the room. Everyone was, it may be like this when you walk into the studio, but the crew were overcome. They all brought autograph books and they were saying, sign this for my wife and all this kind of stuff.
Is he good looking?
Yeah. I mean,
is he?
Yeah. No, I mean, I asked for a good 4.5 hours in makeup before I went on screen with him because it was frightening. And the room, it was a hotel suite in Boston and it was surrounded by his security guards, hotel security guards. So it was heavy stuff.
Talking about the old Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, Scientology,
business.
Because he and many others, Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman...
They're all into it.
Yeah, well...
It's sort of celebrity thing, isn't it?
Well, indeed, in Los Angeles, where I was a few weeks ago to when we were setting up this thing, there is a special celebrity centre of the Scientology church, and that is only celebrities, whereas many religions, as Melvin's leaders will tell him in this series, say that everyone is equal in the eyes of God.
Not the Scientologists.
It seems like they have, they have a celebrity centre.
Yeah, amazing. Lads, you're not too gutted that you lost the match, are you?
No.
I sense a bit of depression.
Well, no, I am, actually. To tell you the truth, I am gutted. I'm not going to make any bones about it.
But
completely
you got the
gutted.
match.
And the fact is, that as soon as you brought the bloke over there, on the leader, I knew he'd been stitched up. And the third fact is that David Seaman of Arsenal's my team is injured, and I was coming out in sympathy.
Oh, OK. Fair enough. It's time to go now to the phones, which have been ringing like a group of people at a campanology convention. I think we've got Lizzie on line one.
Yeah.
Lizzie, hi there, mate. How you doing?
All right, you all right?
I'm alone. Not too bad. Not too bad.
You're doing very well.
Thank you, my love. We miss Perks, but hopefully she'll be back soon. Who's your question for?
My question's for Melvin.
Yep, go for it.
How would you feel if someone did a retrospective of your life?
Depends who did it. If Mark did it, I think I'd feel I was in good hands. He would criticise, but he would see all sides to it. It depends who's going to do that to you. The fact is that nowadays the current trend is to take somebody's life and to chop it to bits. It's easy to do. You can find dirt on almost anyone, and 95%, 97% of people. So if you do a retrospective in that way, I don't think anybody likes it. However much they say I don't care, I don't think anybody likes it. If you do a retrospective looking at the work, then people have to stand by their work. And what we do on the South Bank Show and what Mark does, we talk about people's work. We don't go and talk about their...
dirty laundry.
Not in terms of the arts. Thank you very much. I was looking, as Mel to Mel said, as Mel said for Mel.
Two Mels.
I wouldn't mind it if it Depends who did it, though, that's all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lizzie, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Goodbye. I think Dana's online too.
Hello.
Did you win the Eurovision Song Contest for Ireland?
I did indeed.
How many times do people rib you about your name, Dana? I'm sorry, Dana.
Quite a bit, you know, but I'm used to it now, so...
Where are you calling from, Dana?
Welling.
Welling?
Yes.
OK, who's your question for?
It's for Mark.
Go for it.
And it's, what did you think of the Spice World movie?
I'm sorry, I haven't seen it. I avoided that one. I went to see Titanic instead.
Spice World
I'm looking,
worth seeing.
Is it? I'm looking
Very
forward
much
to the
worth
wedding,
seeing.
though.
Yeah, what's Titanic like? Is it brilliant?
I thought Titanic, it is ridiculous. There's, it's the American view of British history. The officers, British officers, shoot the people in third class in order to stop them getting onto the lifeboats. But technically, it's stunning. He has actually built the ship and then sunk it.
It is quite interesting that the English, particularly, are the enemies of the world in movies.
Always.
No, it's changed. I mean, since we can't have Russians anymore because of the Cold War, and since we can't have everybody else in the world we're supposed to be user-friendly to, wherever they come from. If you see villains now, if you're a Scot, you can hit the English. Although the Scots, William Wallace, the celebrated William Wallace, if you come to where I come from, in Cumberland, I can take you to a priory where William Wallace murdered everybody in the priory, nuns, murdered the children in the whole lot. You didn't get that in Braveheart because he was bashing the English.
Yeah.
The English are bashed everywhere. It's quite curious. And on the Titanic, I haven't seen it. I have to say, my son thought the Titanic was the best movie he'd seen.
It is great. Something to do if you watch it, though, is you work out how old the woman... It's told in flashback by a survivor. And work out how old she is.
That she's a survivor? Doesn't that give it away?
Well, you know at the beginning, because she's still...
And she survived.
It's the only way she could tell the story. She tried to tell it from the grave, but I mean there were grave difficulties.
But work it out. She's 104, and one of the sprightliest 104-year-olds you could meet.
The hand on the knees going, that's a sign. We've got to go.
Of what?
I'm afraid it's a sign of that. It's just a sign. We've run out of time, I'm afraid. I'd like to thank Melvyn Bragg and Mark Lawson for coming on Light Lunch and not using too many long words. It was great. Please don't forget Melvyn's brand new series, Faith in Our Time, is coming to TV near you on Sunday, 1st of Feb. And you can see Mark on The Big Question on Sundays at 9:30 a.m, so set your alarm clock. Thanks also to Jane Namazi for cooking such a lovely lunch. Join me tomorrow when we'll be going flat out for a racy light lunch with athletes Denise Lewis and Kelly Holmes. And hopefully me old Mucka Sue will have recovered. Good evening. Bye.
Think of Wednesday after...